Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Any new subscribers, I'm delighted to have your subscription. Hope you stay for a good long while. I am wanting, just in case anyone had the thought after I had a conversation with a friend of mine, as to, she's like, well, Sheri, you're talking about this misconduct of men that lead well, not just men. That's a good thing. Maybe I should look at women who also have. It's a good point. That was actually an error in thought, but there's no such thing as an error in thought. There is awareness. That when I just mentioned black heads of church only, it seems like it's just them only, this having such poor conduct. And I said, no, I don't even think I got anything very close to that. But just in case someone thought that, I know better. I'm addressing my culture. Those others are not my culture. And the reason why it's so important for my culture, I have said clearly as to why it's so important, is the misimaging. How would you like to have an examination for cancer and only to find out you get a false positive? When a woman has a breast exam, there is imaging taken and um, different images of the breast location to be able to get an accurate picture of each breast. So, and the same for any type of test where you want to get to the true image of your ailment. You're not concerned about other body parts, and you don't want a false positive, because to have a false positive puts you in a frenzy. It creates a worry, like, whoa, and don't know what to do. With the false positive, if it's not eliminated, the doctor will start prescribing things for something you don't even need. And this is how I look at our false image. We have been treated in ways we don't even need. We don't need the added abuse. We don't need the continued racism. We don't need the continued early terminations. We don't need a write up for attendance. We don't, which is common that I've seen. And remember, my field, I get to see all of that. We don't need false representation. And no one goes back and correct it till you start treating it wrongly. I know that is far more men in positions of religious power, because not every man is in a pulpit. Men in position power that are not black, I'm not concerned about them. Their image as a people is not thwarted like ours are, because most of the men leading black churches, most of the people leading black churches are men, although there are women doing it, but most of them are men. So when they get a bad image, it goes right back to all the black men. I just am focusing on the purpose of imagery. That's all I was saying. So I know, and I will just give a brief review for us, that even in the ways that are what I call the wicked ways of the pulpit, it is not all black men, and we come just like everything else societally. We're the least that's doing it, but the greater vision of it is on us. The camera seems to broaden its lens when it's on us. Do you know that there is no one single official shameful pastors list which would denote all of the scandal, the abuse, the misconduct, the sexual assaults, the financial fraud, the abuse of power, the hypocrisy for men leading churches? But let me just give you a few of them. They are not black. And I'm not concerned about them because they're not Black. Because when they do it, nobody's talking about it anymore. For example, Carl Lentz. Now, he was the celebrity pastor of Hillsong Church, which we know that was so big, with so many celebrities. He was fired due to an extramarital affair. And this subsequently led to an abuse of power by a former nanny, by which he had a sexual assault on a nanny. And then more stories started coming out. So the habit of it was there. Also, not sure how far back you can go back to the 80s. So let's go way back. Televangelists, now see, then it was televangelists, but now people can see so much with the magic of the digital technology. Televangelist ministry of Jimmy Swaggart, it dwindled after he had been seen in multiple prostitution scandals. They would catch him. He'd go to his church. I don't know how much you're familiar with. There's one, I'll drop it in the scripture box if I can find it. I have done something. Oh, may God bless my soul. And he went through all of that. Now, I'm not being mockery, although it sure seems like, but I'm not. I remember how crying and sorrowful he was sobbing. And I thought, now I was so young, I thought, just forgive him. He's so sorry. And a week later, he was found doing the same thing. So it was an act. It's unbelievable. Then there was Ted Haggard, who had many affairs, and they were with men. He had admitted to an affair with the male sex worker. So it was a sex worker. So what's the difference with the male? Help me understand. What's the difference with the male sex worker and a female prostitute? Why do you want to make the sex worker don't sound like a prostitute? If you are working for sex, don't that make you a hoe of some sort? Oh, holy Jesus. And then there's Earl Paulk, who had faced several accusations of sexual misconduct from multiple women. Now listen to this. Earl Paulk, a Georgia minister, was faced with numerous occasions of sexual misconduct from multiple women, including an affair with his brother's wife that resulted in a son. Now, hold up. So your son is also your nephew? Or does it go that way? Your son is also your nephew because your brother's wife had it. It's just exciting. This is Davidian. David wasn't this bad. And but how they cleaned up with David had a heart for God and all of this. This is what I mean. There's an excuse for all of it. There's financial misconduct. Even there's Creflo Dollar received criticism for using the prosperity of the church to purchase a $60 million private jet. $60 million private jet. Why couldn't you just fly first class? Was that not enough? Now, Creflo Dollar is a Black preacher. So the reason I pointed out the others is that I know that this cancer in the church is not just the Black church. But when I was having my talks of recent, I'm still adjusting and still delivering a view on imagery as to how we're often seen and seen wrongly like a block, like, because when we do it, everybody says we're all this way. So that's what I meant by that. And I want a more perfect union for us as a people, although we're an imperfect person. So should something like this happen, we'll just say, again, that's the individual within the collective. The collective ain't none of that. Got it? And I love you. If you've gotten this far, please click like, please subscribe. You can still go to church. Pray for it. Pray for it. That's what we should all do. Just pray for it, but do something about it. We have got to learn to call things out, and it's called accountability. Because as long as we do something, we say nothing about it, it's called complicity. As long as you're complicit, you allow a thing to happen. And when you allow a thing to happen, you don't make change. And when you don't make change, you allow us to keep suffering. And that part is unacceptable. I love you. If you've gotten this far, please click subscribe. Take care now. Bye.